Hey, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. This is part 2 of my 2-part video series I make each and every month regarding the California housing market. If you missed my previous video, which was posted a few days ago, I talked about what's happening right now at the statewide level. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about what's happening at the countywide level. This is based on the latest data we have from the California Association of Realtors just posted last week. Let's first talk about home sales. And we'll talk about home prices and housing inventory. And again, we'll talk about the 53 counties that the California Association of Realtors tracks each and every month. It says 33 of the 53 counties that CAR tracks recorded a sales decrease compared to 1 year ago. So the vast majority of counties in California are experiencing decreases in home sales year over year. Now, 21 of these 53 counties are down by more than 10%, whereas 8 are down by more than 20% year over year. This really caught my attention because overall, statewide, we're up by about 25% more houses for sale. So even though we have a lot more houses for sale, sales overall are down on a year-over-year basis, which is likely due to the fact that rates have increased so much over the past 1 year. At the time of filming this video, which is at the end of April, average 30-year fixed rates are around 7.4 to 7.5%. 1 year ago, we were actually in the sixes. In any case, looking at these 53 counties, 20 of them posted an increase though year over year. Plumas County, just north of Sacramento, where I live and work as a real estate agent, Plumas is up by a whopping 220%. That was one of the counties that absolutely surged right at the onset of COVID. A lot of people moved there due to work at home arrangements. And of course, because it's a lot more affordable there compared to, or housing is a lot more affordable there compared to the San Francisco Bay Area. After that, we had Mono County increasing by 120%, and then Mariposa saw a gain of 56%. In regards to home prices at the statewide level, we're up by about 8% year over year. But home prices, it says, continue to show improvement in many counties. So 39 counties of the 53 posted an increase in their median sold price from a year ago. Mono County surged by 67%. Then we have Siskiyou and Santa Barbara. Mono County as well as Siskiyou counties, their sales and price variations do vary quite a bit due to the mix in sales and also due to a relatively low level of home sales in those areas. But Santa Barbara is notable though, a giant increase of 32%. Meanwhile, 13 counties recorded a decrease in their median home sold price from 1 year ago. And that was back in March of 2023. And the county in California that decreased the most was Mendocino, down by 24%. And that was followed by Trinity and Lake County. All right, before I share some slides with you guys regarding what's happening right now, I also want to talk about inventory really quickly here. So active listings, in other words, the amount of houses for sale in California, decreased from a year ago in only 2 counties. So whether they're 51 of the 53 counties posted a gain of active listings, whereas only 2 decreased. So Glenn County posted the biggest year-over-year decrease at down by only 4%. That was followed by San Francisco. Then we have 48 counties, there must be some that are flat. So 48 counties recorded a year-over-year gain. Solano County jumping the most, up by a whopping 98.7%. Then we have Santa Barbara up by 96% and Sacramento up by 70%. Also, like I mentioned, new active listings have been increasing as well, have been increasing for the past 3 consecutive months by double digits as more home sellers are listing their house for sale ahead of the spring home buying season. All right, I want to share some slides with you guys regarding what's happening right now at the statewide level, and we'll compare that to what's happening at the regional level. There's approximately 5 to 7 major regions that that CAR tracks, so I'll share that with you guys. So at the statewide level, home sales are down by 4.4% year over year. Also, the median sold price just under $855,000. That's up by 8% from March of 2023. And like my video I mentioned a few days ago, this is quite the reversal because back in March of 2023 compared to March of 2022, home sold prices decreased by 6.8%. So 1 year ago, year over year, it was down by 6.8%. Now it's up by 7.7%. Also, the month supply is only at 2.6 months. That is an increase though by quite a bit, up by 24%. And houses selling faster from 1 year ago. Days in the market is at 19 days overall. But again, every housing market's different, right? So here is SoCal. Home sales down by 7.8% compared to the statewide average, down by 4.4%. Prices there have been surging though, up by 11%. Prices at $850,000 there. Unsold inventory, days in the market, and also the sales price to final list price ratio at 100%. That is on par with the statewide average as well, also at 100%. That means on average, for the houses that did close escrow this March, they sold for the seller's final list price on average. Also, we have the Central Coast. Prices are at $950,000 right now, but that's only up by 3% from 12 months ago. That is an increase, of course, but the smallest gain of the 5 biggest regions that the California Association of Realtors tracks. Home sales are up by 7.2%, so higher compared to the statewide average. And these other metrics below here are on par with SoCal as well as the state as a whole. The Central Valley, including Sacramento, sales are down by 9.6% compared to the 4.4% decrease at the statewide level. It's more affordable region, of course. We're only at approximately $479,000, and that's up by 5.2% year over year. These other metrics also on par as well with these other regions. The Bay Area, a different animal. Sales down by 5.4. Look at this though. The existing home sold price just under $1.4 million. That's approximately $1 million higher than the Central Valley. It's up by 15.5%, which is pretty crazy because this is the biggest median sold price, but also the biggest year-over-year gain as well, up by 15.5% compared to the nearly 8% gain at the statewide level. Unsold inventory index, as well as days in the market, very fast, 13 days on average. What was the state as a whole? The state as a whole was 19 days. So houses selling fairly rapidly in the Bay Area. And this ratio at 103% means that houses on average sold for 3% over asking, which is entirely normal to see the Bay Area have a high ratio because for whatever reason, houses get listed for far less than market value. So it's absolutely normal to see houses selling for over the seller's asking price. One more region I want to share with you guys, that's the far north, which happens to be in the far north of California. Sales down by 4%, prices up by 5.6%. The unsold inventory index, days in the market, and this ratio tend to be a lot softer compared to other regions. That is normal. I've been seeing that for quite some time. All right, let's have a look at sales by region. So for all the sales that occurred this March, 46% came from SoCal. The Central Coast only represented 4%. The Bay Area at 20%. The Central Valley at 22%. In the far north, only at 2% of all home sales occurred there this March. CAR also provided this as well. This is the amount of home sales by region. The blue line is a year-over-year change. So the only region that posted a gain in home sales was the Central Coast. In contrast, all the other regions posted decreases. In fact, the biggest decrease is actually in the Central Valley. The month-to-month changes, this is a change in home sales from February to March. These numbers are not seasonally adjusted. So it's normal to see increases in home sales from February to March each and every year. Now, having said that, the biggest increases were actually in the Central Coast, as well as the San Francisco Bay Area, up by more than 30%. Now, here's a slide I shared in my previous update with you guys because I shared how the mix in sales is impacting the median sold price at the statewide level because we're seeing more home sales for over $1 million. Home sales in the range of $1 million to $2 million increased by 6% from March of 2023. And look at this, sales over $2 million surging by 20%. So we're seeing the growth rate of more expensive properties being sold compared to more affordable houses. All right, let's also talk about inventory, and then we'll discuss home prices and home sales by each of the 53 counties that they track. Inventory, again, is up by 24.5%, a big year-over-year increase compared to the decreases we saw in 2023. So we have approximately 25% more houses for sale from 1 year ago. And by the way, today's video is based on single-family detached existing houses. So excluding brand new home construction and also excluding multifamily units as well, and also excluding condos as well. So part of the reason why active listings are up is because we're seeing more people listing their houses for sale. It's up by 13.9% year over year. There was around 18,000 homes that were listed for sale this March, which of course is higher than last year, but still a lot higher compared to pre-COVID levels when we should have over 25,000. And again, I went into greater detail regarding this in my previous video. So I'll provide a link in the video description below if you guys missed that video. In regards to active listings by each of these regions, you can see in orange is this year, in blue is last year. So for all these regions, we have more houses for sale from last year. And you can see that right here. Active listings in gray, Central Coast is up by 43.4% year over year, yet sales only increased by 7.2%. To me, this is a really good picture looking at the relationship between demand and supply. So active listings, the amount of houses for sale, all increasing by more than 15% year over year, whereas sales have decreased for all these regions except for the Central Coast, only increasing by 7.2%. So in the Central Coast, there's 43% more single family houses for sale, yet home sales only increased by 7.2%. That to me tells us that we have a relatively slower market compared to years past, because back in 2020 through the first half of 2022, if we saw active listings surging by 43%, we'd probably see home sales increasing by more than that, because back then we saw sales outpace new listings. And right now we're seeing a lot more supply compared to home sales overall. Now, speaking of housing supply, that increased in more than half the state from 12 months ago. The biggest increase year over year is actually in El Dorado County, surging by 56.6%. If you guys live in El Dorado or have some insights regarding there, please leave us a comment below. My thoughts is that El Dorado County, by the way, is just east of Sacramento. The first city within El Dorado, which is the biggest city, is El Dorado Hills. But beyond that, you're looking at wildfire zones, and you probably see areas that have home insurance companies bailing out of the market, but also homeowners there seeing their home insurance premiums go up quite a bit. So I'm curious if the reason for this big increase, the biggest increase of the 50 counties statewide, is due to the increase of insurance costs and also insurance carriers bailing out as well. But I do not service the area beyond El Dorado Hills. So if you guys have any insights, please leave us a comment below. After that, we have Yolo County, Solano, Santa Barbara, San Benito, and Amador County. Sacramento is right here. So we have approximately 25% more houses for sale from 1 year ago. In contrast, the biggest decreases are Mono, down by 43.5%. Then we have Merced, Sutter, Plumas, Tehama, and Contra Costa County. And of course, feel free to pause and screenshot that if you guys want to see other counties there. All right, let's change gears slightly here and talk about what we're seeing right now for prices from 1 month ago and also year over year, as well as home sales as well. So overall for the state, for single family houses, sales decreased by 7.8%. Also it decreased from 1 year ago as well. Whereas home prices increased by 7.7% and also increased month to month as well. For condos and townhomes, we saw a smaller gain in prices, up by 5.5% compared to the 7.7% gain for single family houses. Yet, we're seeing more home sales this March compared to February compared to single family houses. In regards to these biggest regions, the biggest month-to-month increase in home prices is actually in the San Francisco Bay Area. Also, the biggest year-over-year increase is also in the Bay Area as well, up by 15.5%. After that, we have SoCal up by 11.1%. These figures right here, though, by the way, are not seasonally adjusted, which is right here. These figures are not seasonally adjusted again because we tend to see an increase in home sales from February to March each and every year. So it's not abnormal to see these big gains from the previous month. In contrast, when looking at sales from 1 year ago, again, the only region that posted a gain is in the Central Coast, but decreases in all these other regions. All right, let's talk about the San Francisco Bay Area. I mean, just look at these prices here. San Mateo County, nearly $2.2 million. 1 year ago is at $1.86 million. That's a gain of 16.7%, one of the biggest year-over-year increases. Marin County, the median sold price surged by 22.3%. It's at nearly $2 million there. Wild. Alameda County also increased quite a bit as well, up by 16.7%. We're now at $1.4 million. And sales increased quite a bit for all these regions. Again, seasonality. In contrast, home sales decreased for all these regions except for San Francisco County, San Mateo, Santa Clara, and Sonoma. All right, let's change gears and talk about SoCal. The most expensive county in SoCal is actually in Orange County, $1.4 million. That's a gain of 12% year over year. Also big gains in Los Angeles, up by 12.1%. In San Diego, also a big increase as well, up by 11.5%. The median sold price just over $1 million there. In regards to home sales, every single one of these counties decreased year over year, except for Imperial County, experienced a gain up by 12%. All right, let's talk about the Central Coast. Central Coast, Monterey County, love Monterey, by the way, 932,500, a small gain of 3.6%. That is lower than the statewide average, up by 7.7%. But San Luis Obispo down by 5%. Santa Barbara surged by 32%. I'm guessing that the reason why they saw a big increase is due to a mix in sales, more expensive luxury home sales compared to the previous year. Santa Cruz is up by 7.9%. They're at $1.3 million there. 1 year ago at $1.2 million. I won't go over every single county, of course, because this video will be 13 hours long. But let's talk about some counties in the Central Valley. Fresno is relatively flat year over year, whereas Kern County increased by 4.7, Madera up by 4.3. Some of these counties, again, vary quite a bit in their stats due to the mix in sales, and some of them due to a relatively low amount of sales, though. Let's also look at Placer and Sacramento. So Placer County, 659 compared to 550,000 for Sacramento. Prices up by 10% in Sacramento. And when I mean prices, of course, I'm talking about the median home sold price. This is the middle number in which houses actually closed escrow, right? So this does not mean if you own a house in Sacramento that your home value increased by 10%. We're only talking about closed home sales. In any case, Sacramento sales decreased by 10.7% and Placer dipped by 12.4% year over year. Also interesting to note here that in Placer County, home prices only increased by 3% compared to the 10% gain we saw in Sacramento. In the far north, a lot of these counties vary quite a bit. I mean, look at this. Siskiyou County increased by 45.8%. But again, a lot of these counties experiencing big swings in prices and home sales. Look at this, 220% increase in Plumas County, and prices surged by 31.5% due to the mix in sales likely here. All right, wrapping this video up here. Amador County up by 16.3% year over year in prices, whereas all these other counties experienced decreases except for El Dorado up by 9.2%. Then we have big decreases in Mendocino, whereas huge gain in Mono County up by 67.7%. Yolo County, which includes West Sacramento, close to where I live, Yolo is up by 2.7%, whereas sales dipped by 12%. Yuba County, just north of Sacramento, prices up by 6.1% from March of 2023, yet sales tanked down by 37%. With that said, if you guys are interested in buying or selling a house in Sacramento, then please email me at jason@meetjasonwalter.com. Or if you're looking to buy or sell a house anywhere in the United States or in California, then check out my website, which is realestateteamfinder.com. That's realestateteamfinder.com. Hope you guys got a lot of value out of today's video. And of course, if you did, please hit the like button and also consider subscribing as well. Hope you guys have an awesome day and look forward to seeing you on the next video.